Hello, good morning everyone. In this video, we will continue with Group 2's report on science and technology in the modern era. The 20th century or the 1900s to 1999 was one of the most transformative periods in human history. While Mr. Amara previously discussed how these technologies were invented, in this lesson we will focus on how they were improved and developed further for the betterment of people's lives. Automobile improved through mass production, better insurance, and safer designs, making cars faster, cheaper, and more reliable. Aircraft improved from simple flyers to powerful planes, developed for war, then adapted into safe and efficient commercial air travel. So sa una, aircraft are only made of wood and fabric. So in 20th century, pag na-develop, which is may mga researchers nga nagatuon kung paano ma-improve and ang pag-ubra sang airplanes for war. Actually, gapaindis-indis na ang mga countries ang una para mag-improve sa quality of airplanes such as ang Japan and Germany. However, Japan fell behind Germany in aircraft development until 1930. Germany, constrained after World War I, focused on advanced designs and export, while Japan, after initial import dependence, eventually developed sophisticated aircraft including jet technology inspired by the German. Ships also became bigger and faster, carrying more goods and passengers across the seas. These improvements made travel easier and helped connect people around the world. Mode of communication: radio, television, telephone, and computers. Radio started in the early 90s. At first, it was used by the military and ships to send messages without wires. Later, it changed how people got news and entertainment right in their homes. Telephone, invented by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876, became much more common in the 20th century. It gave people a fast and easy way to talk to others, and even if they were far away. Actually, sa una, ang telephone, if magtawag ka, may other line na nagapamati. So, mayon na subong na-improve nila. So, kung sino ang ginistorya mo, kamo na lang dyan do ang makabati. Television came in the 1920s and 30s. It brought sound and moving pictures together, creating a new way of people to learn, be entertained, and stay informed. On the other hand, computers were first built during World War II to help with solving complex problems. Over time, they became powerful tools to use in schools, offices, home, and eventually in everyday life. Energy and power. Industrial Revolution, which happened in the late 1800s and early 1900s, changed the main power source from steam to electricity. Power plants and electric grids were built to provide energy for cities, factories, and homes. During the 20th century, electricity reached rural areas too, making life easier for many people. New types of power like nuclear energy and renewable sources were introduced. Factories started using electrical machines to work faster and better. With better electrical systems, new technologies like computers, household appliances, and communication devices became possible and improved everyday life. So, sa madaling salita, energy and power is isa sa may pinakadako nga impact sa pag-rise sang technology advancement. Kay with the electricity, dira nag-umpisa ang tanan nga mga appliances, mga devices like mga cellphones and computers. Space exploration. It began because of the rocket research during the World War II, especially the German V2 rocket. Later, during the Cold War, the United States and the Soviet Union competed in what became known as the space race. This competition pushed both countries to develop space technology quickly. The US created NASA in 1958, and in 1969, they successfully landed astronauts on the moon with the Apollo 11 mission. Actually, the Soviet Union or the Russia, nagamit sila sang una sa mga stray dogs in order to prove the feasibility of human space travel. And throughout the 20th century, rockets became much stronger like the Saturn V, which helped carry people and equipment into space. Satellites were also developed, which helped with GPS, weather forecasting, and communication. In later years, countries worked together on space missions and such as the International Space Station or ISS. Medicine and healthcare. So it made big progress in the 20th century, especially with the discovery of penicillin by Alexander Fleming in 1928. So, doon na nag-umpisa ang antibiotics and later on na-improve pagid sang iba niya mga scientists. Let's proceed to the discussion on the impacts of 20th century technological advances on society. First, enhanced transportation. Technological innovations led to faster, more efficient, and more accessible transportation. From automobiles and airplanes to high-speed trains, people and goods could travel farther and faster, transforming trade, tourism, and daily life. Second, global connectivity. The rise of the internet, telecommunication, and satellite technology connected the world like never before. This global connectivity facilitated instant communication, international collaboration, and the sharing of information across borders. Number 3, medical breakthrough. Advances in medical technology greatly improve healthcare. From vaccines and antibiotics to imaging technologies and surgical techniques. These breakthroughs save countless lives and increase life expectancy. Next, industrial growth. The 20th century witnessed rapid industrialization, which boosted economies, created jobs, and led to the mass production of goods. However, it also increased competition and widened the gap between developed and developing nations. Number 5. Improve quality of life. Technology contributed to a higher standard of living for many, offering better housing, education, sanitation, and access to services. Innovation in agriculture and energy also helped reduce poverty and hunger in some regions. Environmental concern. Despite these advances, rapid technological and industrial growth also led to environmental degradation. Pollution, deforestation, and climate change became major global issues, prompting the need for sustainable development.
So now let's discuss the emerging technologies. First, artificial intelligence or AI. The idea of machine being able to think trace back to the 1950s when Alan Turing, a pioneer in computer science, posed the famous question, can machine think? By the 1960, the first AI programs were developed, although they were simple and limited compared to today's technology. As computers became faster and more powerful, AI research advanced significantly, eventually giving rise to smarter applications. Today, AI powers everyday tools like Siri, Alexa, chatbots, self-driving cars, and even complex data analysis in business. AI be seen as tireless student, constantly learning and improve. Pero may man question kung mahimo bala nga ang AI na lang mismo mag-ili sa tao sa trabaho. Next, Biotechnology. Biotechnology has roots that stretch back to thousands of years, beginning with simple processes like fermentation, which allowed humans to make bread, wine, and cheese. In the 18,000s, Louis Pasteur discovered that microbes cause fermentation, a breakthrough that deepened our understanding of life. By the 19,000s, the discovery of genetics and DNA revolutionized the field, leading to more advanced applications. In the 1970s, scientists created the first genetically modified organism, and in 1996, the cloning of Dolly the sheep stunned the world. Today, biotechnology is far more advanced with tools like CRISPR allowing scientists to edit genes and design medicines tailored to individual patients. Biotechnology is like a toolbox of life, helping us heal, grow, and innovate, but it also forces us to reflect on how far humans should go in alter nature itself. Next, nanotechnology. The concept of nanotechnology was first introduced by physicist Richard Feynman in 1959 when he spoke about the possibility of manipulating matter at the atomic level in his famous talks, "There's Plenty of Room at the Bottom." This idea became more practical in the 1980s with the invention of scanning microscopes that allowed scientists to observe and move individual atoms. From then on, nanotechnology rapidly expanded into medicines, electronics, and materials science. Today, it is used for groundbreaking applications such as targeted drug delivery, creating lighter but stronger materials, and even making everyday items like sunscreen more effective. Nanotechnology is like working with invisible Lego blocks to build solutions to big problems. Yet, with all its promise, it also carries uncertainty since the long-term effect of manipulating matters on such a tiny scale is still not fully understood. Next, influence on industries. First, healthcare. Healthcare has come a long way from its roots in ancient herbal remedies and trial and error treatments. The 18,000 brought major breakthroughs like Edward Jenner's smallpox vaccine and the invention of microscopes, while the 20th century transformed medicine with antibiotics such as penicillin and diagnostic tools like X-ray. Today, healthcare is faster and more precise through telemedicine, biotech-based treatments, and advanced scanning technologies. From herbal tests to high-tech diagnostic, the human story of medicine has always been about saving lives. Now, it's just happening at greater speed and accuracy. Next, agriculture. Agriculture too has evolved dramatically. For thousands of years, farmers relied on hand tools and plows until the Industrial Revolution introduced tractors and mechanization. By the 20th century, fertilizer and irrigation system boosted global food production. In the present day, technology allows precision farming with drones, sensors, and genetically modified crops that maximize yield while minimizing waste. Farming has always been about survival, but today, technology is helping humanity feed the world more sustainable. Next, business and finance. Business and finance began with simple barter system, later advancing into coin, paper money, and eventually modern banking. The 20th century added innovations such as credit cards and ATMs, which made transactions easier and more accessible. Now, money moves instantly through digital banking, mobile wallets, and blockchain systems. What once required carrying coin in pocket now fits inside the convenience of a smartphone. Next, educations. Education's roots stretch back to oral traditions and chalkboards. Enter Gutenberg's printing press in 1440 made books widely available, sparking global spread of learning. The 20th century added radio and television as tools for teaching, expanding access further. Today, digital platforms, AI tutoring, and online classrooms make education borderless. Where students once had to physically go to school, technology now brings school directly to them. Next, manufacturing. Manufacturing followed a similar path of evolution. The Industrial Revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries introduced systems engines and mechanized factories, while Henry Ford's assembly line in 1913 revolutionized mass production. Today, factories are smart, powered by robotics, automation, and AI that reduce human error and increase efficiency. What began with a suite and hand tools is now an era of precision, speed, and innovation. Next, rule of innovation. First, drives competitiveness and economic growth. Innovation has always driven economics and competition in the 18,000s. The steam engine gave Britain unmatched industrial power, while electricity and automobiles fueled growth in the 19,000s. Today, the companies that stand at the top, Tesla, Apple, SpaceX, do so because they lead with bold and disruptive innovations. Throughout history, the winners have always been those who dared to think differently. Next, encourage creativity, problem solving, and new industries. Innovation always drives in solving human problems. In the late 18,000s and early 19,000s, innovations such as the telephone, the light bulb, and the airplane transformed everyday life by addressing challenge of communications, lighting, and travel. In modern times, digital solutions like Grab, Foodpanda, and mobile apps are today's problem solvers, making daily lives simpler and more convenient. Every invention, past or present, begins with someone thinking there has to be a better way. Next, leads to faster adaptation in times of crisis, pandemic, technologies, renewable energy. When crises hit, innovation became humanity shield. During wars, radios and penicillins became lifelines, while a vaccine eradicated diseases like polio in the 20th century. Most recently, the COVID-19 pandemic pushed innovation forward with online classes, Zoom calls, contactless payment, and record speed vaccine development. History shows us that when humanity is tested, creativity and innovation rise to meet the challenge. So now let's discuss the societal challenge and opportunities. First challenge, Every new technology in history has come with its own fears. The printing press in the 14,000 was banned in some regions for fear it would spread dangerous ideas. In the 18,000, industrial machines sparked unrest as they replaced workers. Even in the internet in the 1990s raised alarm about privacy and misuse. Today, similar concerns remain. Automation may threaten jobs, unequal access widens that digital divide, and powerful tools like AI and genetic editing raise ethical questions. Fear of change has always been part of process, but history reminds us that humans learn to adapt. Next, opportunity. At the same time, technology has always opened new doors. Railroad once connected distant cities. Telegraph connected entire continents, and vaccines saved millions of lives. Today, opportunities are even greater. Renewable energy promises a cleaner future. Healthcare has become more personalized and knowledge is accessible to anyone with an internet connection. Every new technology is essentially an innovation to live better, if we choose to use it responsibly.
Next topic is Information Age and Digital Revolution. The Information Age is a period characterized by rapid shift from traditional industry to an economy-based information of technology. The digital revolution refers to changes brought by digital computing and communication technologies starting in the late 20th century. Internet is a global network connecting billions of devices, enabling communication, information sharing, and online services. Smartphones, mobile devices that combine communication, computing, and multimedia capabilities becoming essential tools for most of the people. Personal computer, affordable, accessible, and computing devices that have empowered individuals and businesses. Cloud computing allows users to access computing resources, storage software over internet, enabling scalability and flexibility. Digital media encompasses various forms of content, text, images, audio, video created, distributed, and consumed using digital technologies. Internet is a global network connecting billions of devices, enabling communication, information sharing, and online services. Smartphones, mobile devices that combine communication, computing, and multimedia capabilities becoming essential tools for most of the people. Personal computer, affordable, accessible, and computing devices that have empowered individuals and businesses. Cloud computing allows users to access computing resources, storage software over internet, enabling scalability and flexibility. Digital media encompasses various forms of content, text, images, audio, video created, distributed, and consumed using digital technologies.
Online education. Online education is a form of education delivered and administered using internet. It has become a reality in digital age, integrating online resources to varying degrees of option range from fully online program to blend models requiring occasional on-campus attendance. Digital divide. The gap between the individuals, households, business, and geographic areas that different socioeconomic level with regards to both of their opportunities to access information and communication technologies and to their use of internet for a wide variety of activities. This divide can occur due to factors like income, education, location, and access to technology and infrastructure. It affects people's ability to participate in digital economy, access online education, and engage to civic activities.
Cybersecurity challenges. The risk of threats associated with interconnectedness of digital systems and the needs to protect data, networks, and devices from authorized access to use and the closure of disruption, modification, or destruction. Demonstration of information. The process of making information accessible to everyone regardless of their background, location, or socioeconomic status. The internet and digital technologies have the easier for people to access and share information. This has empowered individuals to learn, connect, and participate in any public discourse.
Actually, nagbakasyon si Doc Fleming and kintamad siya nga manghimo sang iya nga mga petri dish nga mga ginasudlan niya sang iya mga gina-eksperimentohan nga mga bakterya. Pagpuli iya, nakita iya na lang nga may nagtubo sa isa sa mga petri dish siya nga molds. And nakibot siya paglantaw iya niya ang mga bakterya around that molds is nagkalamatay. So, during World War II, there was a strong need to treat infections. So, penicillin was produced on a large scale. This helped save many lives, and later in the century, antibiotics became widely used, greatly improving medical care and reducing deaths from infections.